How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory, where in this week we get to kind of go over a lot of the progress we've made this week. So, there has been quite a lot. One of them is, as you can see, we've started construction on the, not entirely Phase 2 building, but most, or almost most of it. So what we're building here is, on this floor, I believe we're building the reinforced frames, or modular frames. Is what's going to be on this floor, and I believe we're doing 30 per minute. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it was something like that. Yeah, the color scheme will be black, I think. I don't know. I'm in the process of things, and then I had to do like a weird step thing, and but yeah. So here's our kind of in-between logistics floor thing that's going on. Or and whatnot. So yeah, I guess let's start down here and kind of go over the whole building. So outputs for things are going to show up here. This isn't a permanent spot. I think I'm going to rotate these and put them along the wall here. But basically these are similar to what we have in the steel factory, or the steel mill, where inputs, in this case the smart plating, which I did passively start getting put together over on our, where is it? There, on the roof. And this is producing, again, I don't have the exact number, but I think it's 30 per minute smart plating in here. Our glorious machines doing their things. I love that all the machines are working. It's not entirely 30 per minute because this is like a really odd amount of screws. It's like a 4.111 repeating, and we just did 4 exact, so technically it's probably like 29 and some change, or even 28 and some change, but it basically makes what we need. The underground is just a logistics floor. We have that, and then modular frames up top. I didn't make this look entirely super nice yet. I just got it working. And then our new highway system, which I've started working on. And what it looks like, as you see the frames for it on the bottom, look decent. Just a simple H frame. It is truck slash just vehicle compatible. Mainly because, like I said in the previous episode, I want to use all the modes of transportation that are available. And I even did some kind of like lore accurate, like, I say lore accurate, but just some little gimmicky things right now. For now, it's like, oh, don't drive here. It's cordoned off. You know, you don't want to drive your car off that. And basically, what it is we have little fence posts here. It's not entirely even with tiling, because here it's like that wide apart, and then here it's like that wide apart. I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could try to get the spacing right, but I think it looks fine. Power cables go here, and then on each of these, there's a one of these conduits there, so it can snap to things. Up top here is where the trains are going to go. Obviously trains aren't there just because they don't blueprint well, and we haven't unlocked them yet, so I can't really put them down. But that's roughly where trains are going to go. If I need more space, I don't think I will, because I'm going to need one lane going one way, one lane going the other way. I don't see myself having the need to have like four lanes one direction, 4 lanes another, at least in this section of the map. That might change in later sections, because for instance, I'm not going to necessarily have this roadway all around the map. It will probably honestly end up being in our highway system around the map, but it will more be for us. And then, as you can see, or might have seen, there's going to be a hyper tube hidden in it as well. And eventually what I'm going to do is I remember seeing a post about doing junctions that allow you to have like 2 inputs pointed, and you can turn one on, one off, and it will prioritize. I'm going to figure out how to do all that. But for now, I'm just laying these in. The only tedious part is I have to go through and rip up part of the floor and manually connect all of these, and same thing with power. That is the only thing that is going to be a pain in the butt, but that is what my gopher is for. And then how I'm handling crossover is by doing this. As you can see, I think it looks fairly nice, and it allows us to go under and switch directions. So it allows us to do that. I haven't figured out how we're going to do T changes, or T intersections. How we're currently handling it actually is pretty much the same way, is going under, and then we have what is a temporary run to the smelting factory, which we saw in the last episode. So we're not going to go all the way over there. Nothing really has changed. We added another line of iron, so we're utilizing, I believe, if I have my note card around here, Yes, right here. We are utilizing all of the iron ore that I currently have tapped on our resource highway. It's not all working because we don't have things going into sinks, so that's why the ore isn't moving, but otherwise it should be. Actually, it is in some spots. We can see it moving. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so it basically comes under. There is some clipping and some, like, rotational errors. I haven't quite got the like, turns down just yet, but... Oh, there you can see ore moving. Yeah, nice ore flowing. And those are because those, I believe, are impure nodes, so that's why they're at a 1/4 rate or something. Anyhoozle. But yeah, so that just goes over there. This is going to be a temporary run. Eventually, there's going to be a train line, and it sounds inefficient, and I know, but there will be a train line that hooks up here, and it's going to go up, around, or I guess however it ends up being, but it's going to go around and come here, go back up, circle back around, get ore, circle back around, and so on. We will probably actually have to have a split for the trains to, like, come down here like that, just because otherwise it's going to be like a weird come in, go out sort of thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out once we have the trains and stuff and kind of how the curving works with them, because I've heard that you have to do like gradual curves or something, so we'll figure it out. Although I have seen other things that show that you can literally do 90-degree turns if you absolutely wanted to, but it's atrocious to watch. Some of the other things, I don't take too much damage. Cool. Alright, some of the other things we've worked on as well is... So, we haven't fully tore up the inside of this building. And we just haven't had time due to other games that we've been playing. And I've just been really busy with both the hurricane last week, at which we survived again, just to clarify. I guess that was obvious. We haven't finished really doing this because we've just been busy with other things. And then the Gopher has been gone pretty much all week doing his games. Still have just our regular 8. I haven't touched much in here. We did get a dimensional depot going, as you kind of saw when I opened my thing. This thing is amazing. Being able to pull from here is incredible. Even with just one stack and not having any of this like auto replenished, it's incredibly useful because it lets me know, like, I know, like, if I'm doing like this, it shows me down there, like, oh, I have 788 rods, 1,000 plate. It's nice because it's like a little safeguard, because I don't register that number. I register the purple color as, oh, we're getting low, because now I'm pulling from that. Blueprint machine, haven't done much there. I did route coal, so we're taking the impure nodes. I think it's over here, up by that lake that we had. I'm just routing it here. I haven't quite figured out how I want to do this permanently. I mean, it will probably stay like something similar. I like my little bridge, but it will probably change as things happen. We have our steel. We saw that last time. Concrete's the same. I don't know if we did anything different in here since. I don't think so. I think this is actually pretty much the same, yeah. We added more walls. I think I started planning over here for it. Yeah, so we did one of these big just walls. We're still using the same sort of frames, or glass. I really like this kind of look into that side. I don't know if we're going to build anything over there, just because I really actually just like this view from in here. Like, this is just a really, really nice view to have. And, of course, you have that giant structure. Let me tell you, doing this is a pain in the butt. Getting these angles right so that it lines up to a point here so that it can go all the way down is awful. And then over there, because, like, this was when I was having that big discussion of, well, do I want it always snapped to the world grid, or would I rather have locally snapped things? I like the locally snapped things for a lot. But the problem is if you have things that are on the world grid, and then you have a really weird off angle like this, this looks good, like, because this is built around the natural landscape. But as soon as you look next to something like this that also looks good on its own, it's like, oh, it tapers really weird. It just looks really bad. But yeah. And then, of course, keeping kind of our same ramp thing. Nothing was really changed over here. We still have those pipes. We didn't fully go back here in terms of extending this. I think part of it, when I was deciding, was due to I wanted to keep some of the landscape the same, but mainly it was just this piping here. We could always change it so that I can utilize about probably another 3 foundations this way, and then probably about another 10 or so this way. So we might do something like that, because that will give us a significant boundary. But the other part, too, I had was just this corner here. What we could do is just have it be a cutout, and so then just extend from this point back, and then either just have this be a wall, basically, a cutout, or try to integrate it into the building. Those are all options we could decide to do. There's an iron node in there, but it's going to take a second to get back up there, if we do. Trying to think what else has happened. Caterium's still the same. I'm probably just going to keep the Caterium in that little building for now. I can't remember if I showed it off or not, but it's just a little box. I like the idea of having things that are like smelting slash like early stage manufacturing to be this kind of corrugated metal. And so yeah, we just have 5 smelters in here just from that one mining machine, which I think's plenty for now. Coal hasn't changed. I think those are all the changes we've made this week. So yeah, definitely not as many as I would have liked, but still a lot nonetheless. I really like this face on the building, because I feel like this gives enough character because you can see it, and it's like, oh, pretty cool. We might remove these concrete things. Like, they look cool, but I don't know. Let me know how you feel about them. Like, do you guys like this kind of protrusions, or just the frame of concrete looks enough? So yeah, so let's kind of head over to where we were working on some things. And so my idea is we're going to make those frames, these things right here, these modular frames over there, and then we will send them on a return line on the same pillar over into this factory, and then do things there. What we might eventually do to get it working, we'll probably have just the return line there, but I think what we might eventually do is have maybe a little roadway from here. Just basically drive it. Probably once we clean all this stuff up and remove things, we can maybe do just a little, like, not train track, but just a roadway from there to here with trucks, because I think that's a short enough distance that it makes sense to do trucks over belts. I mean, we can do belts, like we're doing belting right now with it, but I think it would make a little bit more sense for us to just do that. But I don't know. If you guys have any interesting ideas for how I should get the frames from that building to that building, let me know down below. I think it's too short to make sense for a train, plus we don't have trains and we need it to get working now, so I think doing belt over the other thing just makes... Belt over train makes more sense than train over belt for this, but doing truck could just be an interesting thing to do, so I don't know. And then this, we need to finish tearing down and get rid of. Let's see, is that yeah, that is, I believe, everything that we did, because our to-do list was just mainly this week's goals were getting this new highway system built, and it's not entirely built. It only extends from here, where we're at, these truck stations. It extends all the way around to where we had the coal up top. Just because I was initially going to go and have the coal on there, but then I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to belt it. And so then I changed the design. I think we can see it from up here. I gotta get it, like, over... Well, actually, let's just go up here and then we can see it. And I'm really liking the resource highway quite a bit. I think it cleans the belts up. It gives a nice appeal to what would otherwise look absolutely terrible. And yeah, I could probably have made it a little bit different, so that it wasn't necessarily so imposing in terms of, like, that. Some people probably are going to say, oh, well, that just looks bad because you're wasting power poles. You could go every other 2, every other 3, or this or that, or they might not like that it kind of conforms to the landscape where you have these height transitions. People might say, well, I'd rather have it be all one height which is kind of what we did actually on that side. I don't think we had really any height transitions besides this one right here. And, you know, that's fair. I see why people might not like obvious clipping like that. So I do see the appeal to a flat kind of highway system propped way above the dunes, or even just do the pillars that I'm going to show you over here. Yeah, there. And it's interesting. And again, we have another example of where I did two different kind of different ways of doing it. So in one we have, let's drop to this one. In one we have one that literally is conforming to the dunes. I did 3 high, or about 3 high on every pillar. So the pillars are all the same height relative to where they are on the ground. So of course the belt's gonna have very sharp downturns. It's gonna have little ups, little downs, so it really conforms to the dune. I think it looks nice in its own right, because it kind of has that uniformity to it, but I also like the same height belt. My only gripe with the same height is in areas where there's not too much difference in the terrain's topography. It's like, oh, okay, it looks pretty good. But then as soon as you get a massive drop, which we had over there, I think I had to do like 12, like, I don't know, 48 meters, because I think each one of those is 4. So yeah, 48 meters off the ground, but then over here it's only like 12 meters off the ground. So having that massive height disparity was kind of odd. So it's like, I don't know, maybe there's a balance between doing it where it conforms to the ground, so like have it only go within a certain height, but have bigger stretches all be the same height. I don't know. Definitely let me know down below which your preferred method of doing it is. And of course we still have that for the remnants of the old highway system that we need to remove. I like this highway system more. It is built on the world grid. I just don't believe it is. Well, I know this isn't. This is a 45 off. But I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, though. I could be mistaken. But I want it to conform more to the natural. So even though it is world grid, I want it to be more naturally conformed. So, like, curvature here, I would just do a 45. Here is an obvious straight 90 degrees. Here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet, because I haven't really gotten down there, and it's not enough for a 45, I don't think. But we'll see. Or I guess it would be the supplement angle, not the complement. Or whatever, but yeah. So that's, I think, all the updates that we did this week, other than some minor things with like mining adjustments here and there, belting adjustments like we did there, as well as some inventory management. But otherwise, that's kind of our progress update this week. If you want to see more behind the scenes things, definitely let me know, and I can record some stuff like us building this building, or going through and planning stuff out, like in the builder when we were doing this. Definitely let me know down below how much of that stuff you would like to see, or if you prefer these kind of just weekly updates as to what's been going on in the world. Kind of just playing around with it, just seeing what works both best for my time schedule as well as what seems to be doing well in terms of viewer engagement. So definitely let me know down below what you guys prefer for things, as well as those things about the belts and the roads and stuff. On that, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Hope you guys learned something, and as always, make sure you guys leave a like, comment. If you have any fun hints, tips, tricks, leave those down below. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one, and peace out.